And good morning, Risk Raider fans, Red Raider fans, Memorial Day fans. I don't know if you're really a fan of Memorial Day
You
or just
better be.
appreciative.
If you're not a fan, you need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, get out of America.
Yeah,
if
we're
you're
not
a
going to
fan
put
of
up with
Memorial Day.
non-fans of Memorial Day. You're on the
Right.
wrong show, mister.
You're in the wrong show. You're in the wrong country because we are very, very appreciative.
I
of our
grew up
service
on the
members.
Merle Haggard song, Running Down My Country, the fighting side of me. If you want to sit there and piss off about America, don't do it on our show because you can
Right.
comment, but I'm going to delete that. That's what's going to happen.
The fighting side of me, Hoss.
And I'm sorry for the curse word, but it's going to happen. I don't want to hear any crap about the country we live in today because this is our Memorial Day celebration bonus episode of Risk Raiders.
Bonus episode.
It is. It's a bonus episode because you know what? We have a lot of gratefulness to be to our men and women in the past and of the current present who are putting their asses and have put their asses on the line for our country. So we have the privilege to sit here and do this stupid podcast and have this much fun because somebody said it's worth it. And we're going to say thank you today. That's what this show's about, right, Brent?
Yeah, going back 250 years, you've had people lay down their lives so that we can have this country. And let me tell you something, freedom's not free. Man, oh man, oh man. It's just so fantastic that we've got what we have here in this country. It's because of veterans. I mean, it's because people served and put their lives on the line and gave their lives to protect what we have, and everybody hasn't always agreed with what we've done, but this is an amazing story of 250 years of America, and man, it's all about our veterans. There's nothing else. If you don't appreciate them, you're just in the wrong place. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it because our Rotary Club, we put out flags. That's how we raise money for charity in our club, is we put out flags 4 times a year, and 2 of them are veteran related. There's Veterans Day deployment, and then we have Memorial Day deployment. And we put out about 1,200 flags in the city of Bel Air, and it's amazing. I can't tell you how cool of an experience it is because when we're putting them out, people are coming out of their houses and they're like, "All right, my flag's here." It's really just it's so much fun. I mean, we have so much fun putting them out, and it's just a community event. I mean, people just come, like I said, they come out of their houses and they're like, "Yay, flags are here!" And they're talking to us and high-fiving us, and it's a blast. I mean, it's an absolute blast.
And I think that I remember a lot more of that when I was younger. I think it's drifted away some. We have some great organizations here in Lubbock who do exactly what you guys do, and that is just such a special thing. I think the problem that I have is sometimes Memorial Day has just gotten turned into, oh, it's the first weekend of summer. And I mean, hey, we're all guilty. We all want to have the barbecues. We all want to go on the trips. I get all that. But this show today is a big thank you because, man, none of that would happen without these. I was thinking the other day about Memorial Day, thinking, we have the known veterans. I mean, you go to the cemeteries, there's the known veterans that are all there that sacrifice their lives, but there's people who are unknown. There are people that we don't know exactly what happened to them. There's people who sacrificed and their families still, they don't really
don't have their body back.
They still don't know. And you sit there and you go through that and you think, well, maybe that's a good Netflix show or something, but that's real. I mean, that's serious stuff that we as Americans have to remember and pay tribute to the known and the unknown, because like Brent said, we're not political people, but we are pro our country. You can disagree with whatever you want, but we will never, ever turn on our veterans and the people who sacrifice for our rights to disagree. And it's just a special holiday, that I think it needs to come back. And I'm hoping this year it kind of boost up with the 250 anniversary,
I think
right?
250. And I'll tell you, some other people we need to think about too is not just the actual veterans, but I think the people who really, really, really don't get enough recognition is the families of veterans, like the wives and the children that are left behind when those men and women go off. And it's not just the men. Women go off to serve and their children are left behind and husbands are left behind. And man, it's a hardship because a lot of times financially it's bad and they don't get a lot of support and people don't realize it. And you talk about people that need some help. If you know a family that's husband or wife is deployed, think about those people, invite them over, take some food over. I mean, they're probably struggling. They may not say anything because they're proud. They're not proud to be veteran families, and they're not going to say anything. But man, that's a hardship.
Yeah,
Not to mention that their person is gone
right.
and maybe in harm's way. Especially now, we've got them back over.
Yeah.
Again, people
It's
are
always
deployed.
gonna be this way. There's always gonna be people in harm's way, and there's always people.
Absolutely,
But you're right. I think that is the thing. It's really the families and all the people it touches when they've lost somebody. There's generations that have been lost of families. Like I like how you included moms and dad. I mean, it's not
everyone.
everybody, and it touches so many people. Good friends. You lose a good friend. You hear about these stories, and man, I tell you what, this is a good day to sit back and take a moment, take kind of a longer moment probably, and just be grateful and thankful that
Yeah,
that
thankful.
there's that spirit of our country, that people
People
love
are
it
willing to
enough
serve.
to die for it. Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's an incredible act of selflessness to say, I'm going to take 4 or 6 or 8 or a career and give it to my country as service. It's
I know. And as somebody who did not serve,
me too. I'm
which which
ashamed of
which is
myself, really,
always a part of me
honestly.
that has regret about that.
Me too.
But regardless of that, I still think whether we actually served in the military or not, that if we didn't, that we should all be the ones carrying the banner for those who do, because in
Yeah.
supporting them, like you said, I like the idea, the meals, the financial support, sit there making calls, reach out
Check
there,
on them.
check on people, be their buddy. And,
What's going
so
on?
sometimes, the people have gotten older, and we go, oh, they lost somebody like 20 or 30 years ago. Man, when you lose
It
somebody,
never goes away.
you've lost them forever. And don't think that when these holidays come up, that
Mm,
they're not even, it's going to be even a little harder because like a birthday or something like that, when you miss a loved one. It's the same thing. These holidays can
yeah.
be hard for people who have lost, even though they're immensely proud of the
Those Gold
people.
Star families, I
Yeah.
guarantee you on these weekends, they have a hard time because that digs all that back up for them, and I
Yeah.
don't care how long it's been, it's hard.
Yeah, it's difficult, it's challenging, and I think it's good though too that it is in a celebrational mode. I do like Memorial Day. I do like to get with people and family and friends. I think
Yeah,
it's
do something fun.
yeah, and I don't think that's a bad tradition. I think you should.
No,
The
we
way
should be celebrating them. That's what we're
yeah.
doing.
Man, it's a way to honor the country, the people. Those people don't want you sitting around going, give your life and then
No.
you're whining and bitching all the time. That'd be the only thing I'd be afraid of, is that people would come back and go, hey, a lot of us kind of aren't here anymore. What are you bitching about? And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
you're right. I really don't have anything to complain about, and thank you, and I'll shut up. That's how I feel. So I just think it's amazing. And I think it's a good time to honor those families and those people.
absolutely. It absolutely is.
Do y'all have a tradition planned? Are you doing anything?
No, we really don't. I mean, as you know, I like to barbecue as much as the next guy, maybe more than the next guy. So we always take any opportunity we can to either, as I like to say, grill or barbecue. They're not the same thing.
You're gonna
And
flame a beast.
yeah, we're gonna put fire to meat, salt
Mm.
first, then fire. But yeah, we like to cook, and so we'll do something. I don't know exactly what. My son last night was making noise about doing a brisket on the stick burner, and I was like, that's some work.
Oof. Yeah. What are you doing at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, he's starting a fire. It's not the starting the fire; it's the
No, it's
maintaining the
the
fire.
maintaining the fire. And I don't know if I have the patience anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Here's the thing about this is our stick burner. I know they're all sort of similar. Ours is smaller. You have to put another piece of wood on it every 30 to 40 minutes for
Yeah,
12 hours.
I'm out.
There's no automatic
I'm out.
thing. I've tried to figure out a way to have a where you can have burning logs roll into it. There's no,
You
you
have like
can't.
a pipeline of wood that's on a slat that's moving into your thing. You could create this.
Well, the thing you learn after a while is you can't put an unburnt log in there. You have to burn that wood down because if you just put a raw log in there, it creates too much white smoke, which you don't want. You got to have blue smoke, and the only way you get that is if the log is already burned a little bit. So you have to have two fires going. You have to have a fire where you're burning the logs down so that you can put them in. It's hard.
It's nothing worse than an unburned log.
No, it doesn't work.
You gotta
just
learn
doesn't
that.
work. Now, people don't know anything about barbecue. They think you can do that, and they get the white smoke that you get is full of creosote, by the way. And so they'll throw a raw log on there, and for about 5 or 10 minutes, you're in a white smoke pouring out of your smoker. Guess what? That doesn't taste good. The
And
blue smoke.
the neighbors think that there's been a new pope elected.
Yeah, exactly. Or they call the fire department. That's what used to happen to me a lot over at House in Bel Air. They call a fire department and they would go, "No, ma'am, we were aware of that address. He's barbecuing."
Somebody needs to tell him about the burnt wood.
Yeah, and then I learned about the burnt wood.
On there.
Right. Once I figured that out.
Yeah. I almost cursed again. You know, I've cursed a lot on this show.
Yeah, you got to tone it down.
I'm not toning it down for that, but I had one slip out almost just a second ago. That would have been a personal foul. The other one was purely emotional.
Fine for that, by the way. That's a fine.
I know, and I have a real problem with that because I have Tourette's, not legally. Kind of. That's exactly.
Wait a minute. Not legally?
Well, undiagnosed.
Oh, I've got a lot of undiagnosed issues.
I can't like legally claim that I have Tourette's, so this is my disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
I just tell people I have a chronic problem, and they know.
You have a chronic problem with outbursts?
I have outbursts. I have linguistics Tourette's.
Outbursts.
And I have a tendency to use a lot of adverbs and adjectives. And then I turn adjectives into nouns. And I'm just going to tell you, when you can do that, that's a Tourette thing. When you can turn an adjective into an effective noun, then you're good at it.
That's a nounification. Oh my God, that's the most ridiculous conversation we've ever had on the air. I like the undiagnosed because I feel like I've got a lot of undiagnosed issues.
Yeah, I found that if you say that, it keeps people at bay, you know, because if you try... If you try to start taking ownership of somebody else's disease, and I'm not making fun of it, they get a little offensive. So now you just call it it's undiagnosed. I feel it. And I have a lot of those. I do have sympathy for the diagnosed, don't get me wrong, but I think that I'm probably many times worse than a lot of the diagnosed people.
Yeah.
My wife
I'm not even going to touch that. I mean, I have so many things I'm not going there.
Why not? Jump into the show.
No,
this is one of those shows that's kind of like this. We're already in trouble.
I know, but I feel like I've
already got a listener right now who's changed the show. He's
like
gone.
Changed the channel.
Yeah, and you're about to get an email.
Your buddy has issues, and I'm like, well, you know what?
I don't think it's undiagnosed. I think he's just.
There's people diagnosing it right now that are watching the show. There's psychologists out there going, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of bad too, because like every guest that we have on, they always have a little something for me, like, well, you know, it's Jeff. And everybody goes, yeah. So it's really kind of, I guess I do have a problem.
We should ask Kelly. I'll bet she could speak to the subject.
We do not have enough time. If Kelly came on the show, I mean, she would be like, y'all have no idea. And talk about battle pay. I mean, really, my wife deserves a little bit of memorial. What she has to put up.
She is a veteran in a way.
She's a veteran of dealing with an undiagnosed maniac. That's
what about Amy? She probably gets some credit there too.
Amy here at the whole office staff here is just.
What did you tell me that they wouldn't let you do anything after 3 o'clock? I love that.
So
oh my God,
I don't know. She could tell the story better. It was something like she comes into my office. I can't remember the exact time. I've moved it now to 3:30, but she comes in my office one day. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I go, "Oh, I'm just, I'm always like multitasking, doing a million things." And the day before, and the day before, I had just like dumped a whole lot of like ideas, right? She's like, "Hey, I got an idea. I kind of talked with everybody here, and we kind of came up with an idea that we'd like to run this by you." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah. What do you think?
What is it?"
Yeah, was it one of these ideas that I had yesterday?
I want to do one of those things?
Yeah, you want to do it? Yeah, no. Matter of fact, all those were really bad ideas. What I came to ask you was, is there any way that we don't make any decisions about the company after 3:30?
And then maybe you could just go home.
Well, that was the next part, yeah. And then we were all thinking then, like, if we don't make decisions after 3:30 p.m., that, wouldn't it be kind of good maybe if you went home at 4?
Just went home.
Yeah, I mean, you could work from home, but, you might want to go to the gym or just somewhere else.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. And I cannot
We've
tell
got a
you.
cage for you out back. That
And
might be another place.
that was a true conversation. And I cannot
I
tell you
love that.
how great it is to have a staff that is honest with you, because I will tell you, I sat there and at first I was like, seriously? And then
Yeah, seriously.
we're serious or we're all gone. And I thought about it and I go, I used to be an entrepreneur, like you could go to one of these classes and stuff. And it did flash back to me that the guys were talking about people who own their own business and stuff like that, that even if you hit a point where you're kind of bored or whatever, you will create problems so you can fix them, or you'll do stuff because if you have this mindset, you're always kind of churning. And if there's nothing new to work on, you'll create something to work on. And then what you figure out is you create these giant waves for other people, and you can do it in work or at home or whatever. It's like when you walk in with one of those crazy ideas and your wife and kids look at you like, no, you need to go somewhere.
We're not going to put a big spinner on the roof.
And maybe it's just me, but everybody around me is always like, no, I think after 3:30, you need some alone time.
Actually,
and it's true.
I think that's called Lee Iacocca syndrome.
I didn't know. What did Lee talk about that?
Well, if you recall, you know who I'm talking about, right? The guy,
Yeah, the
ran
Chrysler guy.
For a while. Yeah, well, he apparently, and then not, he worked for, I think he worked for Ford before he was at Chrysler. In fact,
Right.
I think he was the guy that green-lighted the Mustang, if I remember correctly. Anyway.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, but he was what was known as a fixer in the business. In other words, he came in and kind of saved Chrysler when they were in a mess. But guys like him have a period of time where they're effective, and then you got to get them out of there.
That's called 3:30.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that for you, that's 3:30.
Yeah, but I did. I went back.
You've done enough fixing for the day.
I know, and it did trigger that. And I went back and looked, and I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of business owner, entrepreneur people. It is a thing, and you don't know it's a thing because your mind just won't stop, and it keeps running, and you're
chewing
always
on stuff.
Yeah, you're always chewing on stuff, and then the thing is that you can't keep it to yourself because you go bounce it off and start, but then you're blowing everybody up.
You get excited and you're like,
yeah. And then you even wake up the next day going, that was the dumbest idea
I've ever thought of.
And then I found out I made it in effect, and I'm like,
never mind about that. I don't know what I was talking
about. And so now I don't have to come in the following day like at 8:30 for the apology tour. Sorry about the idea. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, I know thing about the flag, and we were going to walk through town with the shop.
That's right. I was going to dress up as Uncle Sam, and then they're going to drop me out. Santa Claus. It's going to be great. We're not doing that. Bad idea.
I still have to say one of the funniest things when I was staying with you, and I saw your Santa Claus suit in the closet, and I was like, he doesn't rent the Santa Claus suit. He has a Santa Claus suit. In other words, it's not a Santa Claus suit. It's one of your regular pieces of clothing.
It's wardrobe.
It's not a costume.
And who says the Santa Claus suit has to only be worn at Christmas?
No one said that to you.
Is he making toys now? Yeah.
Exactly. What do you think he wears the rest of the time?
Is he walking around naked with the elves?
No.
Let's hope not. That'd be a whole nother show.
He's wearing that suit year-round.
Wearing a damn suit. I'm just my wardrobe.
It's not Santa's December 25th suit.
The suit that you haven't seen yet, which is the one that I'm actually the most proud of, is my Lucky Charm elf-like munchkin.
Leprechaun suit? You have a leprechaun suit?
I have the Lucky Charm. It is based off of the Lucky Charm.
Do you have the little
cereal.
Curly shoes with the little thing at the end with the bell on it?
I promise you, I've got the whole gig, the hat. It is fantastic. And by the way, Lucky Charms is not a sponsor of Risk Raiders unless they want to be. Call us. But we used to do these. I used to do all these dress-up parties for the Children's Hospital here. We would host a party at one of the Children's Hospitals. So whoever was in the hospital or the kids in there with cancer treatments, once a month we would go up there, and I would always dress up as a character, but we'd put on a big party in the playroom. But I would put on a costume. But then I ordered from this place, and I got good costumes because no one likes you walking around like in the the plastic Superman. You have to invest if you're going to do something like this. So I bought.
Yeah, you got to get it.
I bought basically movie like quality costumes, like 12 of them. So we'd go up there and we did it forever. And then they changed their policies and stuff. We couldn't do it anymore. It was great. Actually, it was the coolest thing ever.
They changed their
Well,
policy
there was
keep you out
no,
of
but it's all now.
Oh, we've had a policy change. I'm
like,
sorry.
Yeah, when he came in as the Tooth Fairy, that was it.
It was probably that leprechaun suit.
No,
Scared
but
the
like
kids.
after all the security stuff, and then after COVID, it just got crazy. Anyway, we ended up doing it, but I still have all these suits, and I've got a Captain America. I have a Captain America suit that's not like Avenger Captain America. It's like 1970 Captain America suit.
Man, you're not kidding around.
And I got the boots. Here's what I found out.
I want to see that leprechaun suit, though. That's intriguing.
Here's the thing: if anybody wants to dress up in a costume or whatever, if you want to wow the audience, you always buy the footwear that goes with it.
Oh, absolutely.
The pullover stuff. Don't do that.
No, those look silly.
If you're going to be Captain America, you have to have the red boots that come with it.
Yeah,
Santa has to have the boots with the fur, not the tennis shoe with the pullover thing. You go to a lot of trouble to hose yourself if it's the footwear. Footwear is the commitment of the costume.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's what it is. I mean, if you're going to go as Uncle Sam here at Memorial Day, you better have some black shoes on, some loafers, no cover-ups. I recommend the black boot would be a good look with that, but don't walk in there and put on Uncle Sam costume and then you walk out with your kids' tennis shoes on. I'm going to give you grief on that.
No, that's not authentic. I would add to that, if there's a hat involved in the costume, the hat needs to be good.
And it has to fit your head.
Yes,
now, we've
it has
talked
to be
about
for you.
We have to talk about the problem that I have, the Cro-Magnon head.
Well, yeah, you've got that Barry Bond size head that they don't even build hats for that. I mean, I'm sure you have to have every hat custom made.
I do, but I will tell you where the big head did
Do
save
they have a
me.
Sedgefield size hat?
Probably.
Because that's what it would be.
No, I got my buddies over at Lamood Big Hats. Not sponsors either, but Lamood Big Hats online. They're good. I'm telling you.
Is that a real name?
It is the name of the company. And I'm going to tell you what. If you have, and we
are you the only customer?
They are not sponsors of this show, but I'm just going to throw it out there. If you have a big skull fragment like this, you get bigger hats, and that they have all sorts of hats. And then you get them in, and like the Risk Raider hat behind you. I got the logo here at a local place. They stitched the logo on it. But if you've got a Magnum like this, I'm telling you, you need a place like that. They do great work. And again, they should sponsor the show because I just given out free woofles there for them. But here's where the big head saved me.
I bet if you walk in there, they're like, "Oh yeah, this shop's."
Yeah, it's like, "Oh my God, he called again from Lubbock."
It's the guy. They're like, "Oh yeah,
he's getting more hats,
double Z or whatever they call it."
It's like just call the people in Taiwan to get out the Godzilla head masked into it. But anyway, the cool thing about it is the thing with the head that got me out of it for the costumes. I've had an innate fear of all my life of the Easter Bunny.
Yeah,
Always.
You told me that. I don't even get that.
Let me tell you why, because I'm going to tell you this.
Is it a Monty Python thing? A rabbit with the gnashing teeth?
I don't like things. Now, like the football mascots doesn't bother me, but the thing that bothered me about the Easter Bunny, the face never moves. I thought it was really creepy.
Yeah, bunnies
it's kind of creepy. It's not the same as a football team mascot or something. They're all goofing around. But when you're sitting there and that thing comes up to you and it tilts its head and it has a look on its face, I'm just like, get away, right? So then here it comes. Here comes the party, and here comes the Easter Bunny's going to be time. Put on the head. Didn't fit. So you know who was the Easter Bunny? My wife.
I was going to know who it was.
And I'm going to tell you something else about the ceramic Easter Bunny hat and the fur costume. I mean, this was the real deal. I mean, it had the feet, everything. And Kelly did an amazing job. But inside of that suit, it must be
900 degrees
at least, because my wife, she went around to all the kids. We went over to the cancer unit. Never said a word because you can't talk too. That's the other thing, because the Easter Bunny doesn't talk. So if you have a character that doesn't talk, you can't talk. And so it's a weird thing. But anyway, she did it excellent. But after it was over, we go for her to change, and she takes that
soaking wet
ceramic hat. And I mean, it looked like literally she'd just gotten out of the pool. She goes, "What?" She goes, "I gotta get an IV to just get rehydrated."
One of the kids that's one of Alexander's good friends was the wildcat. You know, he went to school they went to, their
Yeah.
mascot was a wildcat, right? And this kid, Eric, and he played a football team too, but he would occasionally go over and put the wildcat suit on. And he came over to me one day because I took the picture, so I was always on the field with him. And he comes over one day and he leans in and he goes, "Dude, I'm dying in this thing," because it was getting warm. And he goes, "You got to help me take this hat off. I'm literally about to pass out." And I literally lifted it up off of him. And like you said, he looked like he'd just gotten out of the shower.
We have no idea. I mean, like, you look at
I mean,
those
he was
guys,
smoking, like smoke was going off his
yeah,
head.
like, being Tech fans, we have Raider Red and we have
Right.
all that. And even back in the day, the Raider Red, the head was a ceramic hat. Now it's all this different material, and some of those even costumes has little fans in them.
I was going to say, I bet they have AC in them now.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, there's no way when you're down on these football fields in September and even October, and the heat's
those
coming
fields, it's 120 degrees
Yeah.
at ground level.
You
'Cause
cannot
when Xander was in
imagine.
a football program at U of H, they had thermometers down there on the field. It was 120 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, even you've got the cheerleaders who are wearing, barely nothing, sweating and almost dying, and whoever is in these mascot costumes, no matter what's
Oh.
inside of it, I'm going to tell you what, that is a commitment that no one even thinks about because they're like, "Oh, where's Raider Red? He disappeared for a
that'll
while."
be fun. Yeah,
I'll
he's
tell
dying.
you what, he's back there getting an IV and trying to
In
get
an ice bath.
Yeah, trying to stay alive for the second half. You just don't exactly when your mascot goes down. And they've got IVs and everything, but they're like, "Don't take the head off. We can't take the head off."
Didn't our guy, I'm thinking back, I don't know, when we were in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas back in the day, this
Yeah,
was
he got kicked out.
20 years ago, didn't the Raider Red and the Trojan guy get into a fight in the end zone? Am I remembering that right?
I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but I was pretty close to that scenario. And we were sitting very close, and we got into a scuffle. We got into a little scuffle. So then Raider Red got kicked out. And then what was really awesome about it, I think it was like the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, because we were getting killed like 400-0. I mean,
Dude,
it
we
was
got smoked.
but I have a little funny story about that. But anyway, so we were all sitting there, and the people who were still there, we were still having a good time. And tortilla throwing had just started, so this whole place is littered with tortillas. And so all of a sudden, you look it was to my right, which I don't know where it was. It was kind of like where they had this ramp thing. And all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, Raider Red appears in the full guns up throw, and he comes back in, and people go absolutely nuts because we had nothing to live for on the field. I mean, we were totally destroyed. And it was the last hope of defiance. And he comes back to the field. But, he got into it with the...
yeah, I remember. We were sitting in the end zone.
Yeah, well, we got in trouble because the USC band, before halftime, had come over. They were by our side for the halftime show. And I'm going to tell you what, they were mouthy as all get out to the Tech fans. We had hardly been to anything. They were used to going. And so then all of a sudden, tortillas started landing inside the tubas. And then one guy turns around with a tuba and starts yelling at this Tech guy. And the Tech guy has his 2 beers, pours it in the tuba.
Nice. He's like, I'm your Huckleberry.
I mean, I'm not telling you it was good sportsmanship. It was kind of survival.
It is what it is, man.
It is what it is. And so now, you see, that's the thing. You're never going to have anything like that. And those USC kids were having a great time because they were mouthing off. And I mean, they were destroying us, like it was. It was like we were down by 21 points, like in 2 minutes, It was like, and so we couldn't really say anything besides maybe like, "How's your tortilla and your beer in your tuba?
How's that mixing in your tuba?"
Yeah. "Look, is that our mascot? He came back." And then we're excited about it.
Yeah. He came back from arrest.
Yeah.
He had an early release.
Yeah. He's okay.
He's good. It's all good.
Well, he was armed.
Yeah.
Well, he had 2 shotguns.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, I was like, okay, so you're the Trojan guy. You got a sword. My guy's got 2 12-gauge shotguns.
I think we win. You brought a knife to a gunfight.
My money is on the tune. God, it's so
Our
funny. Well,
brother.
man, this has been all over the place.
It
It's all
has.
over the place, but I'm going to tell you, everybody, we're so glad you listened today. Seriously, we've talked about a bunch of crazy stuff, but the most important thing is thank you, thank you, thank you to all the veterans and their families again for letting us celebrate Memorial Day and for everything you've done for this country. We appreciate it so much, and we hope that everybody has a fantastic holiday weekend.
Great
Brent?
Memorial Day weekend. And yes, 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 appreciate our veterans and be thinking about them when you're out having a barbecue. And we got to use our new word when you're having your braai. Remember?
The braai, that goes back to
That's a
Lee's.
South African barbecue word.
That's right. Go back and watch the Lee Roberts braai interview.
Yeah.
You're going to learn something on that show.
Yeah,
We learned
she
a
clued
lot.
us in on what they call barbecue over there. And it doesn't just mean cooking outside. It's an event.
They get it.
They call it a braai.
They
and that's
get it
when
over
they
in
have
South
lots
Africa.
of folks together and have a cookout. And
Sounds like
like it.
fun. Risk
I want to
Raiders going
fly
to have
over
to
there.
do
I
it.
have to tell you, after having a run, last night I was like, man, I'm just going to fly over there.
Well, we're
Just
going to
have
do a
some
show from Cape Town.
We should.
I'm serious about it. I mean, why not? We take the show on the road. We go learn something. I think it'd be great. I have it on the, I'm seriously thinking we're going to get over there.
I think so too. I was, after she told me there's a relatively direct path to fly over there and it wasn't that expensive. I'm like, oh, I'm doing that.
Yeah, we got to do it. We should be looking into it right now. I don't know why we're not. I guess we're
Especially
trying
your
to.
mother works at a winery. Come on. You know I'm going.
You're never coming back.
I'm never going.
We'll be on the plane and I'll be like, hey, where are you sitting? What's your flight when we get back? And you're like,
Don't have a return trip.
I'm not coming back. I found my new home.
Haven't bought a flight back yet.
There's a lot of tasting to do in South Africa.
Yeah. I'm
A
gonna
lot of
help out
tasting
for a while.
little gulping, golfing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
gonna be
man.
great.
This is a great show. Everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend, holiday and all, and be safe out there and keep your guns up.
Guns up, everybody.
And we will see everyone next weekend. Bye-bye.
Happy Memorial Day.